So here we are again, talking about a theory that was debunked 500 years ago by a bunch of famous people who we still look up to today. Can you believe it?
I still can't believe we have to make part 2 of this. All right, after we got about 1,000 comments, we decided to do one more video with even more solid proof on why the Earth is a globe. And yes, after all those hateful comments, we're gonna be a little bit more animated in this one.
So for those of you who still need more evidence, we will present it here. Although I personally believe that many of you haters out there never even saw our first video from start to finish, otherwise you wouldn't be hating. But we'll do this anyway. On our previous video, we were trying to be nice to you guys, but for this one, sorry, we're not gonna be holding back. All right, welcome to Edge of Wonder. I'm your host, Ben.
And I'm Rob. So on this episode, we're gonna be talking about GPS satellites, flight paths, and historical figures who proved, yes, that the world is round. This is a topic that most flat earthers honestly don't have any easy way to explain. They say that towers are in place on the ground that then allow GPS on our phones, computers, etc.
All right, so if this is true, then we should be able to send a signal anywhere on Earth without using satellites.
Okay, let's begin this argument with the case of DirecTV. Any of you people have DirecTV out there? Probably. DirecTV operates on satellite. What happens when a storm comes and you're watching DirecTV? Your feed is interrupted by moisture from rain and clouds. Why would it get interrupted by clouds and storm if the signal was coming in laterally and more strongly from these supposed antennas? It would be a much easier problem to fix, wouldn't it?
All right, so let's bring up the case of the television station New Tang Dynasty, or NTD, which was the only network broadcasting free and uncensored news into China from the United States using satellites from Eutelsat.
Okay, so due to pressure from the Chinese Communist Party, Eutelsat cut NTD signal from their satellites, and they were no longer able to broadcast into China.
So why is this relevant? Because if the world was flat, New Tang Dynasty could just broadcast their signal using any other towers, but since the world is round, you have to bounce a signal off something, otherwise it wouldn't be able to go around the world into China. And owning your own satellite is insanely expensive.
Yeah, do you know how much TV stations have to pay to own their own satellites? Billions of dollars. And you can see images of these satellites being made. Why would any TV company pay billions of dollars for having their own satellite when they just put up a few towers for a fraction of the price if the world was flat? Why would people waste trillions of dollars a year to hide the Earth being flat? People, please, it just doesn't add up.
All right, another factor is with GPS and flight paths. Writer Miller Jason posted an article on the contributor-based Medium website stating he would give $5 million to any flat earther to show a better route for air travel between Sydney, Australia, and Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay. A real-life normal flight path on a round globe is traveling over the southern part of the Indian Ocean, which is the fastest route. However, according to the Flat Earth map, this would be the longest way of traveling, and a shorter way would be going through the entire country of China, the whole Arabian Peninsula, and then finally, the entire length of Africa to get to Cape Town. Why don't they go this route then? Can you explain that? Wait, no, we're waiting. Explain that.
So on a globe, the normal flight path is roughly about 11,000 kilometers, which would be going through the South Indian Ocean. If you took the flat Earth flight plan on a globe, it would be 25,000 kilometers, which is why planes
don't take that route.
Yeah.
Okay, airlines are cutting costs everywhere. Just look at the space between the seats, pay for meals, pay for a check-in, pay for movies. It is crazy. So why would they take a longer route and need to pay more for fuel just to hide the flat Earth? Who would be paying all of these pilots to keep their mouths shut from this crazy secret conspiracy that somehow none of us know about?
I still can't believe we're even doing this. Right, do you actually believe that all the airlines are in on this conspiracy and purposely choosing the longest flight path just to cover up the world is flat? I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's like saying, hey, I smoke because it makes me healthy. If you don't believe us, you can check out this site where you can check these flight paths yourself.
Please go there, please look, and try to think it through. By the way, if you prove us wrong on this video, we will just stop making videos, period. No questions asked.
And we'll become farmers.
Dude, yeah. You can become a farmer, Ben. I'm gonna become a professional bed warmer. Or wait, a scuba diving pizza delivery man.
Okay, well then how does the pizza not get wet? That's crazy.
Lots of plastic.
All right, you know what? How about a flatulence smell reduction underwear maker?
Yeah. A fart smell reduction underwear maker?
Yeah, it's a real job.
Okay, yeah, these are all real jobs. We looked it up, much like we researched how the Earth is not flat if you look at the facts. There isn't anything wrong with farming or flatulence, but I would rather be making these videos. So let's get into some historical references here that actually prove, yet again, that the Earth is round.
Okay, Pythagoras existed around 500 BC. He was arguably the best mathematician who ever lived and provided us the earliest arguments for why the Earth is round.
He, as many Greeks and mathematicians, believed the sphere is the most perfect shape and therefore connected to something higher. The moon, he noted, was also a sphere, so it would follow that the Earth was round as well.
Plato, who was born in 428 BC, is considered one of the greatest minds of our civilization, and a lot of his ideas on the soul, life, and our existence are still talked about today.
He wrote that our Creator made the world in the form of a globe, round as from a lathe, having its extremes in every direction equidistant from the center, the most perfect and the most like itself of all figures.
Aristotle, one of my favorite philosophers and one of the smartest men to ever live, taught that the Earth is a globe. He observed this through changes in constellations seen at different latitudes.
He also referenced through observation the round shadow of Earth on the moon during a lunar eclipse, saying it was the shadow of a sphere.
So Eratosthenes, about 205 BC, he was a librarian at Alexandria, calculated the circumference of the Earth as well as the tilt of the globe's axis to its orbital plane using a stick.
With a stick and simple math, he was able to figure this out. We mentioned this before in our simple physics section. Okay, so next, Ptolemy, who was from the 2nd century AD, was an Egyptian mathematician and astronomer and a geographer of Greek descent.
He wrote a book called Geographia. He placed the globe at the center of the universe. He even developed a system of longitude and latitude.
In his works on astronomy, notably the mathematical treatise, he proposed an idea consisting of multiple spheres for planets and stars. Still don't believe us? Let's go to India.
Yeah, so Aryabhata, around 500 AD, was an Indian astronomer and mathematician. He theorized an entire planetary model proposing that the Earth spins on its axis. He even found that the planets had elliptical orbits around the sun.
Still don't believe us? Let's go to Iran. Abu Rayyan al-Biruni, 11th century AD, was an Iranian scholar and polymath.
He calculated the Earth's radius at approximately 6,339 kilometers, 99.5% of the correct figure. He claimed that the Earth rotates on its axis as well.
All right, all you guys know about Christopher Columbus. He was the person who's basically known for proving that the Earth is round, even though he wasn't necessarily meaning to prove it. He was just convinced that he could travel from Spain to India by sailing around the world.
Right, so Columbus sailed on the Santa Maria, and the captain of the ship was Juan de la Cosa, who was known as the first person in history to draw the first world map. Juan sailed back to the New World 4 more times before his death. The map is conserved in a naval museum in Madrid.
Dude, Ben, that guy actually looks like you. I mean, minus the hair. Maybe you were him in a past life. But you know what? Now I get to call you Juan.
Well, I did have long hair in the past, and who knows? Maybe I was him. But you know what? We should do a video on reincarnation sometime. That'd be pretty
Oh, we definitely will. Good idea, Juan. Okay, moving on to our next one. Okay, so the other point to this is, it seems that if you do believe that the Earth is flat, how could you possibly believe in UFOs? I mean, these seem to contradict each other somehow.
Right. Right. I mean, even NASA cuts its feed every time a UFO flies in the view of the camera. And NASA, of course, denies aliens, UFOs, anything else in the paranormal world. So wouldn't it be easier just to not even have these feeds in the first place if they're fake?
And why cut the feed when something unexplainable happens into the camera view? Why do that? Also, do you know how much it costs, how much preparation, and how many people it takes to launch a rocket into space? The average cost is around $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. Why in the world would anyone lie? If this lie costs this much, how could you keep very flawed humans all in check from not divulging this massive conspiracy?
So how do you explain all the space flights in history, including the Challenger disaster, with so many people watching these flights? I mean, come on, this is not something you can just casually make up. But aside from all of that, the point is launching shuttles into space and so many, I mean, there's so many people talking about this. And it's like secret spacecraft designed from alien tech. I mean, come on, like,
right.
It's crazy.
So again, it goes back to, if none of this is real, then what have we been doing for the last 100 years related to the overall development of mankind? According to the Flat Earth Society, it is like we have been living under a bubble, well, a dome, since the beginning, and we haven't achieved anything.
Right, it's like everything of Einstein and the great astronomers of the past, such as Johannes Kepler, Edwin Hubble, Carl Sagan, Edmund Halley, Hawking, etc.
Plus, all the historical figures you mentioned will all be null and void.
Right. I mean, okay, I think we made our point. Most flat Earth believers probably wouldn't even make it this far in this video anyway.
Again, you guys, we're just trying to broaden your mind here. We're not criticizing you.
Right.
If you haven't watched our first video on the Flat Earth Exposed, go with an open mind and see what is behind this movement and why and how all of this came about. We have no reason not to blow the top off this conspiracy if it was true, like we totally would.
Right, and for those of you who do agree with us, please hit like and subscribe so we can keep making awesome videos for you.
Oh, and we will.
For sure.
Until then, we will see you out on the edge
of wonder.
Why do you do that?
I don't know.
Just kidding. That flatulence smell reduction underwear maker.
Flatulence? The flatulence. There is the flatulence smell.
Flatulence.
Flatulence.
That's why I said we should change to fart.
Where you can.
Okay.